Now we'll animate the next set of footsteps. We'll begin with the right foot. So we'll bring our camera over to the right side of the character and begin. Selecting his right foot. Okay, so what we want to do here is have basically the raised toe come up as he's moving back. So let's go onto our perspective and graph view and make sure we have some keys set before we actually pose the foot rolling up. So we want to focus on our translate Y. We'll hit F to check out our keys, and we do have a key set on frame 25, but we need a key set on 31 where the foot will be planted. So we'll go to 31 and set a key of 0 for the translate Y. And then let's go ahead and check out our raised toe channel. And we do need some keys here, so let's put a key on frame 25 of the raised toe. Okay, and we'll have the foot basically plant with the raised toe on about frame 31, just like what we did with the translate Y. Great. So now we're ready to begin posing. So we'll go to frame 28 and we'll just raise up the raised toe some, like so, for the step back, and hit F to check out our key. So here's what we get now when we scrub through. Alright. And then we could go to frame 28 and lift up the foot here some. Okay, not much at all. And check out our translate Y. Hit F. Alright, there's our key. So now we have the foot lifting and then planting. So now we could go to frame 31, select this key on frame 31, and take the left half and bring it up for weight in the step. Excellent. So when we hit play, here's what we get. Great, and that's looking pretty good, but there's something wrong with our footstep right now. Notice the angle at which the foot and the leg are in. Okay, and this type of angle is really going to be, this is not going to happen unless the character is forced into a pose like this. So we need to fix that. And what we'll do to fix it is actually key our raised ball channel. Okay, so we'll go to frame 28, and on that frame, let's key our raised ball set to 0. Okay, so we can isolate the motion there where it starts, and hit F to frame our key. So the foot's going to, once it plants at about this position on frame 31, we're going to want to have the raised ball up here. Okay, so that the leg is in a better position. And then we'll have it plant once the leg is straight enough where the foot would actually plant. So on about frame 35, we'll go there and just drop our raised ball. Okay, so now we can check out our motion, even hiding our curves, and see if we like our fixes. Hit play. Great, so that's looking much better. Now we don't get that weird pose, and the foot is moving like it should. Great. So that pretty much wraps up our right foot. Let's go ahead and work on the left foot for this section. Okay, so we'll select the left foot now, and here we want to make a few changes. Okay, we want to make a few changes in timing. So for one, what we're going to have happen is once that right foot is planted, we're actually going to have the left foot roll up on the heel. So we need to allot some time for that and speed up the time in which it's coming back, because it's coming back a little bit too slow. So first off, let's take this key on frame 35, these keys for the left foot. We could even hit F in our graph editor to see the changes we're making. And we'll take the key on frame 35 and let's move it down about 2 frames. So it now lies on 37. And then we'll take this key on frame 45 and speed it up so the left foot will plant a bit faster, so it's not also coming back with the rest of the body at the same time. And we'll take this key and move it up 2 frames as well to about, or 2 frames up to the left. And so now it lies on frames 43. Great, so here's what we get if we just checked out the blocked out portion of this animation here with the left foot. Alright, great. So the timing is much better there, the timing and spacing. Now we can work on the actual steps. So what we're going to do, remember we're going to have the left foot raise up, okay, with the heel first. So let's go to frame 34 and we'll key our raise heel there. And on frame 37, we'll just raise up the heel some. Okay, like like so. Maybe even a little bit more to exaggerate that pose. Alright, great. So now the foot's rising up, and now we want it to basically drop. So on about frame 40, we're going to want to have the raised toe keyed and the heel dropped. So let's put in a value of 0 there on 40. And we also want to check out our raised toe. Let's go there, and we do need keys. So we'd want a key here on 37 set to 0. So let's go to 37 and put in a key of 0 for the raised toe. And by frame 40, we'll have the foot rise up as the foot's coming back for the step. Great, so here's what we get now. Alright, and we're getting a nice swoop here. And then the foot's going to plant. So for this, let's have it plant on frame 43. So we'll go to the raised toe and put in a value of 0 there. Great, so now we're getting a nice footstep. And just FYI, if the character were going back a little bit more, okay, if he were back enough where this left foot would actually be straightened out, the raised heel would actually come up a little bit faster. But since his leg is still bent here, we're having it come up a little bit slower. Okay, so now we're just about there, but of course we do have a weird pose still on about frame 43, okay, of this left foot. So we can change that up a bit by animating our raised ball, just like what we did with the right foot. So what we'll do is go to the raised ball channel on frame 40 and key it there. Okay, and let's now go to 43 and we'll raise up the foot. Okay, so here's what we get. And then we'll have it plant once the leg starts straightening up a little bit more on about frame, let's see, about frame 46. Let's go there and drop the foot. Excellent. So here's what we get now when we hit play. Alright, we're getting a nice footstep in there. Okay, so with that done, we could go ahead and see if we could adjust any of our tangents onto our translate Y. And we do need to key the translate Y. So let's do that. We'll go to frame 37. And we already have a key there, so that's fine. So let's go to frame 40 and bring up the foot a little bit. And then have it plant on frame 43. So put in a value of 0 there. Great. And then we could go to this key on frame 40, hit F, and just take this key on frame 43 and bring up the left half of the tangent handle to show weight. Excellent. So here's what we get now. A nice footstep. Awesome. So there's our next set of steps. Let's do a play blast to check them out. Okay, so we'll find a nice view where we can check out our footsteps, even with our whole character in shot, to see if everything is consistent. So we'll get a nice view where we can check out our footsteps and render one off. How about from this angle here? Here it is. Great, so our footsteps are looking really nice. And here we also see an example of how effective it is to layer the animation, okay, by breaking it down. Okay, remember we started from the upper body and then we brought back the feet. And we've also sped up our workflow by doing this instead of having to, again, try to tackle the whole animation at once and possibly getting a little bit distracted with animating both the upper body and the legs. We just simply broke it down, worked on the upper body, and now we're making adjustments to the legs based off of what we have set for the upper body. So we're making, again, great progress right now. We just have one more footstep to do, and that is to fix up the right foot, and then we'll go back and check our footsteps afterwards and make sure that they're fine before we can call them done and move on. So that completes this lesson, and in the next lesson we'll finish up our footsteps for the light pull.